and welcome to the Sunday show. I'm Kohinoor. I hope you're all having a wonderful Sunday. You've had lunch and you're all raring to go because we've got a jam-packed show. And I'm telling you in advance now, I'm very hungry, and I'll tell you why. Because I have AMAL RANA, who's in the studio today, and she is here. You'll know her because she was at the Junior Bake Off, and she was one of the finalists. And before we went live, she was telling me about her favourite recipes, and I was like, oh my goodness, I need some of her cakes. And I did say to her mum, where are the cakes? So she said next time she's going to bring some in. But anyway, good afternoon and hello. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Well, welcome, Amal. How's everything going?
Good.
Gosh, you must be on a high, right, at the moment?
Yeah.
So look, you competed in the Junior Bake Off, which is a massive thing. I can imagine them getting a lot of thousands and thousands of applications.
Yeah.
And you actually came out one of the finalists on the competition.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So we've seen you bake, and can I just say, I can't believe how talented you are.
Thank you.
And to think that you do this because it's fun and you do it out of hobby, I think you've done a wonderful job. But what we all want to find out is about your journey. Okay, I want to know how you actually applied. What was the process on getting on the show? What were the challenges like? I just want to know everything. But before we do, is it right that you've been baking since you were 7 years old?
Yeah, I started baking when I was 7 years old.
Okay, and that's quite young. So, and you mentioned before that your parents don't bake. So did you just watch, I don't know, did you look at recipes? How did you come about baking?
Yeah, so both my parents can't bake at all, so They weren't really much help. But I think I learnt mainly through YouTube and watching different programs on TV. And I think that's what kind of sparked my interest in baking and really got me started.
Oh, wow. And then, so talk to me about applying to the Bake Off. I mean, the Junior Bake Off. How did that come about?
So I actually had no idea about Junior Bake Off at all. So I had watched it on CBBC previously, but they stopped the programme for a few years. So I didn't actually know it was starting again. But one of my mum's friends actually sent me the application form. So I think she definitely was the one that told me to kind of go for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what did you have to do as part of the application?
So the application was just to get to know you as a baker. So they asked for lots of photos of what you've been baking and how long you've been baking for. And it was just asking you questions like what got you started and how were you inspired to start baking and what baking really means to you.
What does it mean to you?
Yeah, baking means the world to me. I think baking is really it. I bake all the time, every day. Yeah. I'm always baking for my friends and family, for school. And it's just a hobby for me, really.
Yeah.
But it's amazing, yeah.
And do you have a favourite recipe at all?
Anything with Biscoff in it. I'm obsessed with Biscoff. It's so good. One of my favourites, yeah.
Wow. So, okay, let's talk about the competition. You were up against many talented young bakers. But you were one of the youngest, right?
In the finals, yeah, I was one of the youngest. To begin with, I think there was quite a range of contestants. So the oldest, I think there was a few 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds. And the youngest, I think there were a few people in like year 5, year 6 even, yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, so talk to me about your, what is it called? The finale.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me about what you made there.
So for the finale, there were 2 challenges, the signature and showstopper. So I'm quite proud to call myself a Bangladeshi, and I really wanted to reflect that in my baking. So for the signature, we had to make inside-out biscuits. So it's essentially a biscuit, and when you start cutting the shapes out, it reveals like a pattern inside. So I chose to do boats because Bangladesh is known as the land of rivers. So I thought, what better than to base it on Bangladesh and my culture and my heritage, and something I'm really proud of.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, let's have we've got a little clip of you, so let's have a watch of that, and then we'll talk about what you've been doing since then.
Yeah.
Okay?
It can't be beaten. day of Junior Bake Off.
When I became the finalist for Junior Bake Off, I think it was like an incredible feeling, and getting so far out of 4,000 people, I think it's quite an achievement. So signature আমি বাংলাদেশের উপরে বেস করছি। So Bangladesh, it's the land of rivers, so সেই জন্য একটা boat theme করছি। I've been watching Junior Bake Off and Great British Bake Off for a very long time now, including Nadia Hussain, and she's definitely a very big inspiration for me, being Bangladeshi. But one of my friends actually applied, and I think that gave me the boost and confidence to just go for it.
ওর বেকিংয়ের এই প্রতিযোগিতায় যাওয়া যে শুধু অন্য বাচ্চাদেরকে অনুপ্রাণিত করবে তা না, পুরো দেশের সমস্ত মানুষকে পৃথিবীর সম্মুখে তুলে ধরবে যে বাংলাদেশের মানুষ সব কিছু পারে এবং বিশ্বের প্রতিটি অঙ্গনে আমাদের পদচারণা সব সময় থাকবে।
আমার মেয়ে নিজে নিজে শিখে যে এত দূর গেল, এটার জন্য অবশ্যই আমরা গর্বিত, এবং প্রত্যেকটা বাঙালি বাবা মায়ের উচিত তার সন্তানকে উৎসাহ যোগানো, যাতে তারাও ক্রিয়েটিভ হতে পারে, সমস্ত পৃথিবীর কাছে তুলে ধরতে পারে যে বাঙালি হিসেবে আমরা অনেক দূর এগিয়ে যেতে পারি।
The future is actually to become the Prime Minister. So I want to go into politics and law, and I really want to be a politician to serve my country and just do well for the people and really voice their opinions.
Oh wow, so your parents must be so proud of you. We can just see from that clip they are. And what has it meant for them?
I think it's meant the world to them, to be honest, and they've been so supportive through this whole journey, and without them I would never get this far.
Oh, that's incredible. And your future plans, Prime Minister, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah? When you know, I thought, I don't know, I kind of saw you as a Michelin star baker or something, but Prime Minister, have you always wanted to become a Prime Minister?
Yeah, it's been a dream of mine from a while, yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. Well, I'm sure, I hope you are, I'm sure you'll get there. Now, your school, you go to a school in Chelmsford.
Yeah.
How did they react when they saw you baking?
I think they've been so supportive through this whole journey, and they actually gave me the chance to do 2 of my own assemblies for the entire school. And it was so much fun, and at the end I actually got to judge the teachers' bakes.
No way.
Yeah.
My goodness. And how did they, so what, you got all the teachers to bake?
No, so it was just like the head teacher, the deputy head teacher, my year leader and a few others. And so they didn't really have time to make a whole cake. So we bought some cakes for them, and they had to decorate it with like buttercream and food colouring. And it was almost like the technical challenge, so I didn't know whose bake was whose.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So when you were looking at it, were you actually saying, right, well, this one's quite neat, this one is a bit messy, and who won?
Well, the head teacher didn't win. He wasn't that happy about that. But the first round, my year leader won, and the second round, one of my deputy head teachers won.
That's incredible. And in regards to, since the show, what have you been up to, and what is it that you want to do with baking?
So quite a big part for me is charity work and just giving back to people. So back in December, I actually did like a baking, like a bake sale. So it was for an organisation called Pencil, and in honour of like the Bangladeshi Victory Day, they had a little event. So I got my own stall and I baked lots of different things. So I baked brownies and cupcakes. And all of the money raised went back to 2 girls back home in Bangladesh. Oh, wow. And it was to help them with their education.
That's incredible. And do you intend to do that? Do you want to do that moving forwards, or do you have other plans?
With baking, I definitely want to do more charity work, but I've also started a new project, which is my YouTube channel.
Okay.
So that's kind of my project for 2020. So it's called Baked by AMAL, if you could all subscribe.
Of course, of course. And are you going to be sharing recipes, or is it just a channel where you demonstrate how to like decorate, or?
So I think it's just a mix of everything. So I would, so in the future I want to post more of my own recipes, but I've also got videos on how I decorate cupcakes and cakes and other people's recipes that I'm sharing.
You mentioned that your favourite type of cake includes Biscoff, right? But for somebody who's a non-baker, like myself, what is the easiest cake to bake?
I think the easiest is just like a classic Victoria sponge. So it's a really simple vanilla cake, and it's just filled with, you can fill it with cream and jam, and
Oh, that sounds so good. And have you ever been in a situation where you bake something and it's not how you want it to turn out? How do you deal with those kind of scenarios?
Surprisingly that has happened so many times.
Yeah.
I was actually baking a cake for one of my friends and it just fell apart really. And I went to sleep that night just really devastated.
No.
But halfway through the night, I literally got back up, went downstairs and just started fixing it up. And I think you need to just take a break from it, and then you have to have the right mindset and just get back on and just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I guess the one thing I did see, I saw on someone's social media, they ordered a cake and it cracked, right?
No.
And it was a birthday cake.
Yeah.
And then they were trying to fix it. Is that something people can do quite easily?
Oh, well, it's not easy, but you can do it, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And I guess, you know, for people at home that are young bakers like yourself, I think it takes a lot of confidence, especially to go on television and show your skills. And I think also it takes confidence to make mistakes and then learn from them. What advice would you give young people at home that, I guess, they're exploring their talent and they want to take it to the next step?
I think you can't be afraid to make mistakes because it's something that happens and everyone makes mistakes. But I think a big part of baking is just learning how to deal with the mistakes and really take from them and learn from them.
Amazing, amazing. Look, we are going to watch, because you're in the studio, we have a piece called The Sunday Kitchen, where there's a recipe. So I want us to watch that recipe. And I know that you bake, but I still feel that you still can critique food in general. So we're going to watch something, and I want you to tell me what your thoughts are on the recipe. Do you cook?
I don't. I cook sometimes. Like, I like cooking breakfast for my parents and sometimes dinner. But I want to start cooking more Bangladeshi and Asian food.
Nice, nice. And do you like a biryani, a good biryani?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah? Your mum's a good cook?
Yeah.
So look, thank you so much for coming in. I think you've done a wonderful job, and I can't wait to actually see your YouTube videos and things like that, because I think we can learn loads from it. So I think if we could, hopefully, if you can come back sometime and just let us know how you're getting on, because I know it must be difficult studying, working hard, and you play the piano, right, as well.
Yeah.
You do a lot of things on the side. I don't know, how do you fit it in?
I think it's balance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You need a good work-life balance, right? So, no, it's really good, and I'm really proud of you, and I know the Channelist community is as well. But do come back.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Don't go away, because we are going to have a break, but I'll be back soon after that.